Hi guys, welcome to week 2 of your junior English class in CVVL. Hopefully week 1 went really well for you, but if you have any questions, please let me know, okay? I don't want you guys to go long without having your questions answered. I want you to feel comfortable with this. So, this week, I want you guys to remember, in week 4, we are going to be writing a definition essay on what it means to be an American. So all of our assignments until week 4 are kind of geared toward helping you create a definition for what it means to be an American. So keep that in mind as we're doing that. That's our final end goal. We are going to be, if you look on your course guide, we are going to be doing activity 1.4 and 1.5. Remember to do just what I have in the announcements. You can copy and paste this and email it to me or submit it in the assignments in the Blackboard. But just what I have on the announcements is what I want you to do. There's a lot of other additional things in the Springboard activities that you don't need to do, okay? So first off is activity 1.4. So there are 2 poems in Springboard activity 1.4, so pull those up and read them. One is called I Hear America Singing, and the other one is called I Too Sing American, Sing America, sorry. So you have a graphic organizer. Your job is to fill out that graphic organizer, okay? So I want you, as you are reading, to pay attention to the tone of the poem. That's like the tone that, like, does this person sound angry? Do they sound happy? Do they sound depressed? So the tone is how the author is saying something. And then I want you to pay attention to the diction. Diction is just the word choice. The diction, the words that the author chooses to use, contributes to the tone, all right? So depending on what words they choose, we're going to have a different tone. And then also the imagery. The imagery is the picture that the author is creating for us, all right? So you're going to fill out this graphic organizer. I put some examples in there, okay? So you guys know exactly what to do. So your first job, you're going to read I Hear America Singing, and you have to tell me the tone of the poem. When I read that, I picked up a tone of pride. I think the person writing that is being prideful. They're full of pride. Now, in the third column of the graphic organizer, I need to cite a quote that reveals the tone, okay? So my quote, I use the last line. It says, singing with open mouths their strong melodious songs. And I wrote the word choice, so there's diction, strong, when they said strong melodious songs, gives the impression that the song has value and is powerful. Their open mouths, so there's some imagery, gives a picture that they are belting out this song. Both the imagery and diction give a sense of pride. So if you say the tone of the poem is hopelessness, then you should provide a quote that has some word choice and an image that proves that the author, is hopeless, all right? So I want you to find, tell me what tone you think I Hear America Singing has, and then give me a quote from the story and explain that quote. Tell me why that quote proves whatever tone you're picking. And then you're going to do the same thing for I Too Sing America, all right? So fill out that graphic organizer. Then there are 2 prompts. You're going to pick one, all right? So you'll see prompt 1, I Hear America Singing, and I Too Sing America both refer to singing of America. Think about the definition and connotation of to sing. Connotation is like the feeling that word gives you. How are these 2 poems similar, and how do they differ? Explain your answer by using details of diction, word choice, and imagery. All right, so you can do that one, about 5 sentences. Or you can do prompt 2. Claude McKay and Langston Hughes wrote during the same period in America's literary history. Their writing deals with similar themes concerning the experience of African Americans. After analyzing the poem, America, explain how the tone and theme of Claude McKay's poem is similar to that of Langston Hughes' poem, I Too Sing America. You support with both diction and imagery. So you pick one of those, just one, all right? Now you are going to do Springboard Activity 1.5. So pull up that PDF. You're going to read this short story. It's called Fulfilling the Promise. It is a bit of a lengthy story, so take your time reading through it. Don't think this is just something you can do in 10 minutes. Spend some time reading this story. I want you to pay particular attention to tone. So whenever you come across something that reveals the tone, like a word choice or a picture the author paints, make note of that, highlight it, or write it down. I don't know if you're looking at, if you print off these PDFs or if you read them online, but whatever strategy works well for you, make note of the tone because you're going to need it. Because after you read that, you are going to write me an essay. So your job is going to be to write about how the tone evolves. That means, how does the tone change throughout this story as her experience broadens? And then I also want you in this essay to analyze the structure. So you'll notice as you read Fulfilling the Promise, it's divided into 6 chunks. So there's chunk 1, and then there's her story in chunk 2. Think about how her tone changes throughout each of those chunks, okay? So here's how you can format this essay. So this is going to take you time. I know assignment 1.4 was like quick and easy. This one's going to take you a couple hours, okay? Because you're going to read through that, be thinking about the tone, and then you're going to write an essay. So in your intro, this is like 3 to 5 sentences. Tell me what this article was about. Who is this girl? Include your thesis about her tone. Your thesis should focus around how her tone changed throughout the story. Okay, and then in your body paragraphs, 3 body paragraphs, pick different chunks from the story that illustrate how her tone changed. So tell me how her tone was in this chunk, then tell me how her tone was in that chunk, then tell me how her tone was in another chunk, and each of those are going to be a different body paragraph. All right, you're going to do the same thing where you have a topic sentence. You're going to give me a quote that illustrates her tone. And you can do just like we did previously, where you tell me what diction does she use. So analyze, if you pick a quote, tell me what word choice she has and how that diction amplifies her tone. Then you can give me some imagery she uses in that quote and how that contributes to her tone. And then wrap it up with a conclusion sentence, all right? I wrote an example body paragraph for you guys, okay? So this body paragraph, I want you to model yours after if you're struggling. So I wrote, to begin the story, American I, the narrator displays a tone of desperation and hope. So there's my topic sentence. In paragraph 3, she states that she was choked for ages in the airless oppression of Russia, and her deathless songs turned prison bars into strings of violin. Starting off the story by saying she was choking gives us the picture that she's near death in her former country because it's so painful to live there. It must have been so stifling and such a struggle to live in a country that oppresses people that her only hope was America. So see how I have a quote, and then I analyzed that quote and talked about how it gave me that specific tone. So you're going to do that and then wrap it all up with a conclusion sentence. All right? Then you're going to wrap up your essay with a conclusion. So you need conclusion sentences for your paragraphs, but then you also need a conclusion paragraph for your essay. All right. In that conclusion paragraph, just tell me how the diction and imagery throughout this story gave us a specific tone. And then I want you to tell me also how the structure, how those chunks showed us how her tone evolved, how it changed throughout her experience. All right. And then I want you to wrap it up with one final aha or some words of wisdom on what we can learn from her story. All right, so do that, and then you're also going to look at some varying sentence openings. You don't have to do that graphic organizer where you list sentences. The point of this is you don't want to start all your sentences with I, or you don't want to start all your sentences with the. So look through that, and then I want you to go back to that essay you just wrote me and make sure all of your sentences have varied openings, okay? So you don't have to do any of the stuff, but just make note of how having different sentence starters is important in an essay, and it can convey different things. So changing up the start of your sentences is important. So go back and revise your essay. There's some examples there of possible revisions, and it shows you how different beginnings can have different impacts in your sentences. So look through that, and then I want you to do some revising so you can make sure in your essay you're not starting your sentences with the same kind of thing each time. All right? As always, I'm here to help, so make sure you reach out to me if you need to, and hopefully we'll have a great second week and move on next week to week 3. All right? Bye-bye.